Hello, today we're going to present uh, import-export activities of Egypt and challenges they face. Thank you for this accepting our presentation by Madam Saya. And the presenters are me, Shankar. Next is No Shahira. Then is Louis, Kong Yugwan, Asriza, and Norain. Okay, let's go into the introduction part. Okay, the official name of Egypt is Jumhuriyat Ms. Al Arabia. In English, they stated as the Arab Republic of Egypt. The political system implemented in Egypt is multi-party republic with unicameral legislative body. The current president of Egypt is Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the prime minister is Mustafa Bolin. The country official religion is Islam and official language is Arab. And the population ranking, uh, according to 2019, there were 98,967,76,000, and their population rank is 13th. Egypt is 62 largest exporting company and 72 in the complex economical according to the economic complexity index in 2017. The importers need approval from Egyptian custom authority to make their custom clearance of their imported goods, including they must settle their duties, their payment, and all according through the custom authorities passing. And the new law will introduce the law number 72, and in Article 70, Article 3 is mentioned that national investors and foreign investors must given relevant opportunities treatment. Thank you. Next.
So the next is I will present about the import documentation and step. For the first step needed is pro forma invoice. Pro forma invoice shall be prepared by the exporter and sent to the importers for acceptance as necessary. For Egypt, the rules is bank should stamp the pro forma invoice or final invoice. Under investment law 230, companies do need to get permission from the General Investment Authority to import the material needed for their service. For the second document is packing list. Packaging list is a compiled document in specific format describing how to package product. It also valuable document to keep a record of inventory and impact distribution for the custom at the time of inspection and for the buyer's warehouse manager. The third document is certificate of origin. It required by the custom import duty. For Egypt, it required the two copies original document of certificate of origin. The certificate of origin must be authenticated within the country of original by the Egyptian consulate. For the fourth document is commercial invoice. This document provided by the seller to the buyer. For Egypt, it required the two copies plus the original document. Legalization by the Egypt consulate in the country of origin it required in the most case. For the last document is bill of landing. This paper was provided by the shipping firm or its representative. It acknowledges the receipt on the board of the vessel of the goods listed in the bill of the shipment. In Egypt, a bill of landing must show the shipper name, address, and number of bill of landing issue. Next, the challenges is the first one is anti-competitive practice. Anti-competitive practice are practice of industry, government, or religion that discourage or reduce competition in the market. For the second challenges is sanitary or phytosanitary standard. Egypt has a wide range of sanitary and phytosanitary or SPS measure and quality standard that control its import of food. The third challenges in terms of characteristic of custom operation. The first one is creating challenges custom procedure, encourage or tolerate corruption, reducing tariff while introducing taxes, keeping tariff profitably high, challenging labeling law, and often enforce rate change. Thank you.
Okay, I want to present about the logistics and characteristics of mode of transportation in Egypt. Egypt geographic area Kopa is growing infrastructure-based centers the country position as a major global logistic hub for companies willing to develop in business and trade between Europe, Asia, and Africa. In Egypt, have four methods: air transportation, water transportation, rail transportation, and road transportation. The first one is air transportation. Air transport is a faster, divided, the more time-saving transport form of transportation. It is because air travel prices are more costly than other transport options. The price of certificate from transport set in kilograms and the firm company in Egypt is subject to be graded duration in transport for general goods in order to facilitate their transport in large quantity. Egypt is working airport security and firm procedure. It cooperates with officials and airlines from the country conquered include Russia, Italy, all of which check with scanning of passengers and cargo in Cairo, Europa. The second is water transportation. The main waterway in the part of the Nile River which cross Egypt. It less contain the liquid river, Asaria Cairo waterway, and some small waterway in Delta. It is one more investors possibility for get a multimodal transport network in Egypt. Next. The next is rail transportation. Egypt has a priority considered a state-run rail network. The railroad link Cairo and Asaria with the major city in the Nether region at the big city in the Nile River, down and Aswan and Safaga on the coast of the Red Sea. The last one is road transportation. Road transport, small U mode in logistics, had been found to be longer than mode. It made the mode choose from lower speed over shorter distance and only mode of transport house to house. Have 94% of it is transport by road that is currently no domestic provided in with a considered utilization infrastructure. Next. If Egypt had two challenges they face, first is more critical face the growth of transport in Egypt train designated link structure. It is a constant delegate of domestic industry and distribution center in Egypt. The ineffective transport and telecommunication line and backbone of associated facility are the major factors that hinder the development of country logistics system. The river network is mainly used with a small business to dispense product in urban market. The second is rail network also is not conquer and common accident to occur. That's all.
Now I would like to introduce the custom clearance of import and export cargo in Egypt. For the custom clearance import procedures of the Egypt, First, after the imported goods arrive at the seaport or the airport of Egypt, the carrier will unload them to the custom bonded area of the Egypt. To get permission from Egypt custom to take import delivery of cargo arrive, either importer or Egypt custom broker can submit the necessary documents to carry out the import declaration procedures in Egypt. Person in charge need to track the import shipment of arrival in Egypt port properly as need to custom clear the cargo as early as possible on arrival of shipment. Otherwise, person in charge may be imposed demurrage by the import handling authorities. After the goods arrive at the Egypt custom port, the delivery note must be obtained from the cargo carrier where the Egypt import customs are located. Next, for the custom clearance export procedures in Egypt, before shipping the exported goods to the country's custom port, invoice and packing list and other necessary export documents has been arranged for the custom of Egypt. After the custom of Egypt completes the export formalities, the custom authorities will obtain the necessary permits to transfer the exported goods. The custom authorities of Egypt will take necessary export inspection procedures as necessary. Next, besides that, there are two challenges that faced by the Egypt. Policymakers must have a firm view and determination to facilitate the custom clearance procedures and promote the trade with foreign countries. In other words, if import and export clearance procedures are not improved, the Egypt cannot compete with other countries to attract the foreign investment. This means that unless the custom clearance procedures are improved, all effort and funds to improve the country's logistics system will be in vain. Next, the custom clearance time and cost, the number of steps and the number of disputes seems to have greatly improved in Egypt. More and more entries are submitted electronically. However, the information about this improvement have not yet been reflected on most Egyptian websites. In order to improve the quality of information about Egypt, appointed government agencies should monitor the information from the perspective of foreign investors and promote the country's reality to the international community. Thank you.
Okay, next is export procedure and documentation. So it consists of the export pre-clearance and documentation, and it has three parties: individual trader, branches of foreign company, and all firms company. So three parties need to follow the procedure and requirement to get the license of export by giving the basic information, declaration, and certificate of practicing exportation. So in terms of the basic information, these three parties need to provide their name, their activities, their address, their brands, and the main product. While for the declaration, they need to declare that they're not committed to any legal, any crime, and any punishment. And they also need to declare that they are not withdrawn from the exporter list for the last 3 years. So the another requirement or procedure that they need to follow is official transcript, uh, which is the two parties need to provide official transcript that state that they are doing a business and be an exporter. So for individual trader, they need to provide a minimum capital with a 25,000 Egyptian pound, and the productive activity is 10,000 EGP. While for the all firms company, they need to provide the minimum capital in official transcript is 50,000 EGP. So next is challenges. So there is three challenges, which is different legal norm, license to export documentation, and lack of information. So different legal norms become challenges because different countries will require a different document, different certificate. So it becomes challenges to the first exporter to face if they are not understand or familiar with that kind of the legal norms with that country. It might um, it might delay the process of the export goods. So the second challenges is license to export and documentation, which is become challenges because the procedure to get the license is a bit harder, even though they are not there is the less required to get the license for exporting, but this is a chance to them to get a less competitive. So next is lack of information. So
as we know that process of the exporting is consists of so many things in terms of the logistic, document, legal. So if lack of information about the exporting things, it might interrupt and it might delay all those activities and all those process to export the products.
Okay, I will proceed to the lastly activity, which is method and instrument of payment and pricing. Okay, the exporter are generally applying for AGP and buyer's letter of credit, which is LOCs traded by the buyer via Egyptian banks and irremediably tagged by an American bank. Import transactions are based on interbank document collections. Importers may also have the capacity to open an LLC as a result of state interference. Regulation in Egypt have the effect of forcing importers to take on the entire financing burden for food imports. The exporter is unable to ship the products before an Egyptian bank notices of the LLC opening. If the goods are shipped before the beginning of LLC, the importer may pay the maximum value of the goods. Open account transaction involve the selling and delivery of the good before payment, which typically take 30, 60, or 90 days during international sales. As foreign buyers often press out exporters for open account agreement due to the intense competition in export markets, since the seller expansion of credit to the buyer is more common abroad. Okay, next is the challenges due to the activities is the bid forced Egypt to grant national and most favored nation (MFNs) accept some exemption in order for investor to make financial transaction easy and rapid and follow international expropriation and compensation standard. The Egyptian pharmaceutical cost plus pricing system replaced the 2009 base pricing scheme, in which the price of the brand name pharmaceutical in Egypt were 10% lower than those of the Ministry of Public Health, lowest foreign drug sale rates. And the lastly is the degree also established a price limit of 60% to 70% for a brand name medical product over Egypt average selling price. The regulation deducting the margin of pharmaceutical goods and distribution from the expected cost. That's all.
O- Okay, next is recommendation. In recommendation, we see they have a lot problems, challenges faced by the departments of related with import export. First is staff should be given ongoing training. That means in export import they must seek the problems they're facing and give proper training ongoing process. Second is they must break down the rules. Regulation knowledge should be available in English also and or multiple languages so that other foreign investors can understand what is they are trying to mean. The higher authorities also need to work together with the customs department, means the ministry department that related to business customs should do work together so that the problems faced in transportations like rail transportation, water transportation, and other problems related to customs clearance, lack of information, custom clearance problem can be settled. And the next is the information must given on time to must be updated in website or the places where the public and foreign investors can see look in. And Egypt custom authorities and effort should be taken to modernize their custom procedures to be relevant to the years to the updated years. Every exporter companies in Egypt should have ISO 9000 or ISO 14000 that certificate according to their field so that they can be the service quality and goods quality is higher. Then last of the recommendation is the law established, the 72 established law must strictly followed so that the investors feel they're treated as relevant to the national investors. Okay, next, the conclusion. Next conclusion, we can see in conclusion, Egyptian face many challenges in their activities related to import export, such as documentation process, amendment of the existing law, and new introduced and issues of customer clearance, financial method used by receiving and payment. So the Egyptian higher authorities, that including custom office, port officers, the ministries, to take rapid action on the rapid on the spot when the problem is issued. Don't take longer time to make the problem to be solved, so that they can upgrade and make their sales to a higher position. From 72 position can go to higher places, or 69 to higher places for export. They can become higher good exporters. The last is they must standardize the export import procedures to increase improve their productivity. Thank you. This is all from us.